It is the duty of every member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police charged with the care and operation of a police car or other vehicle to see that it is maintained in a serviceable condition and ready for use at a moment's notice. No point or fundamental care is to be neglected. When driving a transport, drivers must drive with due care, attention, and with safety. All police transport will be kept properly cleaned inside and out. The body of the car must be thoroughly washed and free from grit before polishing. Remember, no unauthorized person is allowed to ride in a police car. Before proceeding on patrol, see that the radiator is full of water and properly circulating, for this is very important in keeping your engine cool. The fan is also an important part of the cooling system, so check the driving belt. Look at the spark plug connections, where sometimes they become disconnected. The battery must be frequently checked for water and make sure there is no corrosion on the terminal posts. Check the oil when the engine is not in motion. This will give you a true measurement. Examine the tires frequently to see that they are in good condition and up to the pressure recommended by the manufacturer. Remove loose tools and anything else from inside the car that could be used as a weapon by a prisoner. The trunk is the proper place to keep tools. A first aid kit is supplied to every car. This kit must be kept in good order and condition. At frequent intervals, test the chemical fire extinguishers installed in police transport and recharge them when necessary. Form 132, carried by all transports, listing tools and equipment charged to the car, should be frequently checked for any discrepancies. All tools and equipment must be kept in a serviceable condition, and a tow rope is often found beneficial. Drivers of transport must always have in their possession a permit to drive as required by the laws of the province in which they are serving. The vehicles, too, must be properly licensed, and license plates must at all times be kept clean. These things do happen, and not always at a convenient time. Never travel even the shortest distance on a flat tire. A screwdriver or similar tool can be used to pry off the hubcap, and the nuts may be slacked off while the wheel is resting on the ground. When the nuts are removed, they should be placed in the hubcap. Before jacking up the car, put on the emergency handbrake and also put the car in gear. This will prevent any movement. As a further precaution, put a wedge under the wheels, then place the jack in position and elevate the car until the wheel is clear of the ground. The wheel changed, the nuts placed on hand tight, lower the car and tighten the nuts evenly. Replace the hubcap. Have the tire repaired as soon as possible. Keep an eye on the gas, oil, temperature, and ammeter to see they are functioning properly. When preparing to drive away, make yourself comfortable in the driver's seat, making sure you can see and reach the controls. Before driving away, see that the emergency brake is off. Disengage the gears by placing the gear shift in neutral. As a further safety measure, disengage the clutch by pressing it to the floorboard. This relieves the strain on the motor. Turn on the ignition key and engage the starter. If the motor is cool and sluggish in starting, use the choke sparingly until the motor is warmed up and running smoothly. With an automatic choke, this action is unnecessary. Don't race the motor, especially in cold weather. Allow the oil to thin out and start lubricating. The motor running satisfactorily, ease the clutch and shut off the choke. To drive away, disengage the clutch. Place the gear shift in low. Release the clutch gradually. At the same time, step on the accelerator with the right foot, feeding gas lightly to the motor. As the car gathers headway, disengage the clutch, place the gear shift in second, and then release the clutch. As the car gains more speed, disengage the clutch, place the gear shift in high. Release the clutch gradually and apply the gas in moderation by pressing down on the accelerator with the right foot. Don't ride the clutch. Glance occasionally at the gauges and drive with both hands on the wheel. Never use a defective car on the highway. It's just asking for trouble. The garage is the proper place for it until the defects have been repaired. The mechanic must be informed of defects believed in need of repair, and drivers will check the servicing in every case and see that manufacturers' recommendations regarding the servicing of their cars are adhered to. The motor of this car had been troublesome, also the steering. The car is jacked up and the wheels tested for side play, which could be caused by worn bushings and kingpins or loose tie rod ends. Perhaps the spindle has become loose, or the bearings have worn in the hub of the wheel. Any one of these defects would cause shimming, that is, bad steering. The tires are examined to see if the wheels are out of alignment, for this causes bad steering and wear on tire edges. If this is found to be the case, the wheels must be properly aligned at a service station, which does this particular kind of work. The steering is tried out, and the steering box is examined for grease leakage, which would result in worn gears and poor steering. Defects repaired, the car is placed on the hoist for an oil change and grease job. Proper lubrication is important. Have the differential checked and a recommended grade of lubricant added if necessary. Also, check the transmission. All grease fittings, shackles, springs, and shock absorbers are to be attended to, and the brakes checked for fluid, the steering box serviced with grease, and the generator and starting motor oiled. All electrical equipment will be checked, including the horn. Drivers of transports will check all servicing before leaving a garage and accept only on their satisfaction. Remember, a car in good running order is a safe car when driven by a careful driver. Accidents do not happen. They are caused. Failure to observe road signs or give proper signals, driving too fast under bad weather and traffic conditions, failure to check brakes or lights, lack of courtesy to other highway users, drinking when driving, all these points may involve you in an accident, even cause death. Traffic signs are usually made and posted by the provincial department concerned, in accordance with the highway traffic law of that particular province. In cities, towns, and villages, they also put up traffic signs in accordance with their bylaws governing the traffic by these different legislative bodies, but all traffic signs are put up for the same purpose. That is, to control and regulate traffic and to prevent accidents. Drivers of automobiles must always be alert and cautious, remembering that speed causes many accidents which are often serious. Quick acceleration and powerful brakes are dangerous if misused. For absolute safety, travel at a speed which will enable you to pull up in a distance which gives you time for clear judgment. Coming onto a major road, always stop and be certain the way is clear before again proceeding. Keep on your correct side of the road, especially where your view is obscured. For instance, on hills, there is always the chance that a car coming from the opposite direction will meet you on top. Never be a road hog like this car. His half of the road is to the right and not on the crown. Look out for this reckless driver. And the man who unexpectedly makes a U-turn in the middle of the street. When being overtaken, don't accelerate to establish pride over common sense. Cutting in sharply is a dangerous practice and the cause of many accidents. To take a corner at excessive speed or on the wrong side of the road is like driving blindfolded. Always stop, look, and listen at railway crossings. Keep an eye on cyclists. They may swerve in your path. And the dog that runs free. Where a ball rolls across the street, someone will follow. Exercise great caution when approaching a school zone. Children have a habit of dashing in front of a car. Promptly obey the signals of the school patrol. These youngsters do a wonderful job. Slow down in built-up areas and watch for the jaywalkers. Watch for the pedestrian who dashes out from the front or back of stationary vehicles. Stop for stationary streetcars. See that the passengers safely alight and board before proceeding on your way. Sometimes you meet this type of person. He must read his paper regardless. When climbing a steep hill, put your car in low gear. It gives you more power. When going down a very steep hill, again put your car in low gear. This will give you greater control and is easier on the brakes. Parking on the downward grade of a hill, turn the front wheels of the car inward so they rest against the curb. Put on the handbrake and leave the car in reverse gear. Parking on the upward grade of a hill, turn the front wheels of the car outward. Put on the handbrake and leave the car in low gear. Don't park at roundabouts or street corners. When parking near a fire hydrant, see that you park in accordance with city bylaws. Double parking is a hazard. Remember what you think of other motorists when they double park. Always indicate with a hand signal when you are stopping to park. Choose a parking place that is not likely to inconvenience or obstruct other traffic. Get out of the car on the side nearest the curb and see that the doors are locked. Pulling out from the curb with an obstructed view has caused many accidents. Be sure your road is clear. Approaching pedestrian crossings, remember to stop at the white line, not over it. Indicate with a hand signal your next move, which in this case is to the right. This signal indicates to the left. Always keep in the proper lane, that is, the side you are going to turn from. Watch the motorist ahead. He may stop. Be sure you have a clear road ahead before attempting to pass vehicles in front of you. In cases of accidents involving police cars, the driver may be held responsible for any damage caused by his vehicle to any other vehicle, property, or injuries to persons through his negligence. His responsibility does not lessen by the presence of a senior member. However, a senior member's duty is to see that no negligence is permitted and traffic laws are abided by. Neglect on his part will render him liable as the actual driver. All damages to police transports, breakages, or loss of parts or equipment must be reported through the proper channels without delay. When driving at night, dim your headlights. Many an accident is caused through an inconsiderate driver with dazzling lights. Speeding on ordinary roads, gravel roads, or wet, greasy paved roads has only one ending: disaster. Unavoidable accidents do occur, but many are due to carelessness and inconsiderate driving. Here is the tragic evidence of speeding. Trying to pass vehicles near the brow of a hill. Rolled into a ditch as a result of dazzling headlights. Entered a major road without stopping. Caused by excessive speed on wet paved highway. Failed to stop, look and listen at level crossing. Liquor and gasoline are bad mixers. Overtaking when road ahead was not clear. Making a sudden U-turn on the highway. Cutting in too quickly. The results of accidents you have just seen are so obvious that further explanation is unnecessary. Remember, it could happen to you. Exercise care, caution, and consideration for others. It is important that every policeman should know how to carry out traffic point duty and how to give correct traffic signals. When a pointsman is on duty, all eyes are upon him. All traffic awaits his signals. He must therefore give his signals distinctly and keep traffic moving in a regular manner. The mechanically controlled safety lights are installed at busy intersections and road junctions, their purpose being to control traffic and keep it moving freely and with safety. When any one of these mechanical lights break down, or where a particular problem or increased traffic hazard exists, it is then that the policeman, with a thorough knowledge of traffic control, takes over. Pointsmen will take up their positions in the center of the crossroads, junction, street, or intersection. Their duty is to control traffic by hand signals, which must be precise and definite. They will take command of traffic at once, and signal each stream of traffic through their point. Traffic must not be delayed but kept moving in a safe and expeditious manner. The pointsman has a big responsibility. He is under the constant eye of the public. He must be alert and neat in his appearance. Now, to change the flow of traffic from one direction to another, the pointsman makes the stop signal by extending his left arm, holding the forearm in a perpendicular manner, the right arm extended in a horizontal position, palms of hands facing forward. This signal is held until the traffic is stopped front and rear. Then the pointsman drops his arms and remains standing squarely against the stationary stream of traffic. The lane of moving traffic cleared, he changes his direction, makes the stop signal against moving traffic, then gives the start or come on signal by looking to his right and bringing his right arm up in a circular manner, bending the elbow, his hand coming slightly in front of his face. This will start movement of traffic. If necessary, repeat signal to speed up movement of traffic. He then looks to his left and brings his left arm up in a circular manner, bending the elbow, his hand coming slightly behind his left ear. This starts the traffic on his left and moving behind him. Clear, precise signals and alertness keeps the lanes of traffic moving with clockwork precision. Left turns are dangerous, for it means crossing the stream of traffic or entering the lane of traffic. So the pointsman must exercise great care that he stops the main flow before giving the come-ahead signal. That is done by extending one or the other arm horizontally, according to the lane of traffic he is stopping, then beckoning with the other hand. Giving a motorist the go-ahead on a right turn, be cautious of pedestrians in their crossing. The pointsman must be courteous to the public in general. At the same time, he must see the rules of the road are upheld. A pointsman may have to hold up both streams of traffic for unusual circumstances. A crippled person, aged, or blind wanting to cross the intersection. Once the traffic has been stopped, he may assist the infirm person across the intersection. The pointsman may be sure that while he is doing this, all eyes are upon him. Immediately the person is safely across, the pointsman takes up his position and starts the traffic in motion again. Pointsmen are visited by their superiors from time to time. Besides directing traffic, a man on point duty must know his district, where the roads lead to, all important places, and points of interest in the district. And remember, the public at large, and drivers of vehicles in particular, appreciate proper signals from the pointsman. To this end, those employed on point duty must ensure that only clear and unmistakable signals are given.